Well, welcome back, friends. Today I want to share with you 15 practical ways that we save money. Saving money and investing for the future has always been a priority, especially now with a new baby. It's been on my mind more than ever. And so today I just want to talk through some of the practical and very realistic things that we do to save money. And these ideas really span across the board, from saving money on groceries, on travel, on your home, and so much more. So let's get into this now, and I want to begin with a very easy way that you can save money on groceries, and that's to skip prepackaged foods. Try to avoid buying prepackaged snack foods like a box of cookies from the bakery section or a bag of popcorn. Not only does making foods like this yourself cost a fraction of what it does at the store, but they also taste better too. So instead, skip the bakery and the snack food section. Instead, buy the raw ingredients to make snacks yourself. Of course, I do realize the balance to this is making things yourself does take more time, and so what I'd recommend is try to figure out what are those handful of things that are very quick and easy for you to make, and try to make those things yourself. And then if there are certain items that you really enjoy but are hard to make yourself, maybe buy those pre-made, and that can be a good balance. But as a general rule, I love trying to make foods from scratch as a way to save money. It lets me control what goes into the food that I'm eating. I can pick healthier ingredients, and who doesn't love a good homemade cookie or freshly popped bowl of popcorn? Alright, but then something that you can do for your home is to set the temperature by the season. Keeping your home warmer in the summer and cooler in the winter is one of the easiest things that you can do to save money and reduce your energy usage. And a difference of only a few degrees really can have a significant impact. So how we have it set up is we'll keep our home about 5 to 10 degrees warmer in the summer than we do in the winter. We find that that's a range where we can still be comfortable year-round while still adapting our home's climate to the given season and taking advantage of some of those savings. And this is another big one, and that's just to wait to upgrade. Whether it's with tech, your vehicle, clothing, your home, you don't need the latest and greatest of everything. And there is so much money you can stand to save by just postponing purchases. Instead of buying a new phone every single year, wait till your current one is on its last legs, and at that point replace it. And the same thing goes for your car, your furniture, your home, your clothes, really whatever. I find that in Western culture, we often have a tendency to want to replace or to upgrade things that still have plenty of useful life left in them, just because there's something newer, something better available. But I can't begin to tell you how much we've been able to save by driving the same cars for the past, I think we bought one 4 years ago and the other 8 years ago. Even though I work in media, I don't get a new phone or a new camera every year. We plan to stay in this home, which is not huge by any stretch, until we fully outgrow it. And decisions like that, delaying or postponing upgrades until you actually need them, can be such a powerful way to save. And when it comes to your home, a great way to save money is to DIY things and just do it yourself. Maybe you want to remodel, or there's something broken in your home that needs fixing. See if you can do it yourself before hiring someone to do it for you. Recently, our dryer stopped working, and neither of us had experience fixing dryers, so we were looking at what it would cost to bring someone out to hopefully repair it, and it was going to cost us $400 just to have our repairman come out to look at it, not even factoring in what it would cost to repair it. And so we just said, hey, let's see if we can fix this ourselves first. And Christopher, within 20 minutes, was able to identify, fix the problem, and now we have a fully functioning dryer that cost us nothing to repair. So that's a great example of what this could look like, but really the same principle applies whether you want to paint a room, to remodel. Doing things like that yourself can quite literally save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. But of course too, it is important to know when to hire a professional. There are certain things that are just beyond the average person's skill level, but there is still a lot that you can do yourself, and in my experience, doing it is empowering. Okay, then let's talk about a few travel related savings ideas. Something that I like to do, I've done it for years, and I don't feel like I hear people talking about it all that often, is to pick your destination based on flight deals. I find that most people, when they go to plan a trip, pick where and when they want to travel and then start looking at flights. But what I like to do is actually work backwards. I keep a list of a ton of different places that I want to go, and then when I'm looking to go on a trip, I'll have a very broad date range in mind that I'd like to take the trip. Then I'll research and monitor which of those destinations have good deals to them. If you don't mind doing the research yourself, you can use Google Flights, or if you want it done for you, you can also use services like Going or FareDrop. And that's the strategy I've used for most of the major trips that we've been on, and I used it to get $800 round trip tickets to New Zealand, $500 tickets to Greece. I think we paid $600 for our trip to Ireland round trip last year. So using this strategy really can help you to save hundreds or thousands of dollars on your trip. Then another great way you can save on travel is to travel with friends. I love this one because while yes, you will still have to pay for your own flight and food, pretty much everything else on your trip is going to be a fraction of the price. By splitting the cost of things like accommodations, car rentals, again, you can stand to save hundreds or thousands of dollars. What's great too is by pooling your money together, you can often get nicer accommodations while still paying less per night than you would if you traveled yourself. That's not even to mention the fact that traveling with friends is just fun. You have more people to share memories with. But then moving on, let's talk about something that I've been doing a lot since entering my mom era, and that's buying secondhand. I mean, I've been thrifting for years, but especially with a baby, I've really been trying to focus on buying a lot secondhand just because they grow out of things so fast. But whether you have kids or not, buying secondhand can be a great way to save money, to give old items new life. You can shop at thrift stores, antique malls. Facebook Marketplace is a great resource. Something I've recently discovered is BST Facebook groups, which I think stands for Buy, Sell, Trade. They're just local groups that will be centered around a specific category of items like home decor, baby things, clothing. I recently joined a couple local ones here in Charlotte for home decor and baby items specifically. I found some great items on there. So whatever it is that you're looking for, buying secondhand can be a great option. But on a related note, and something you can do to save even more money, is to leverage buy nothing groups. So if you can find one locally, you can just search for them on Facebook or start one with a group of friends. We started one with our local friend group that now has over 100 members in it. It's a place where people can post home goods, clothing, food, even personal items, things that you can't usually find when thrifting. I've gotten a bunch of things for Oliver this way, items for our home. They can be really helpful. Just last week, I was able to get the next size up bottle that we need for Oliver and a new set of the size 2 nipples, which is something that I never really knew about till having a baby, but turns out you need them at some point. I was able to get those though for free, so really can be a great way to save. Now let's talk about one that I know I've mentioned before, but I want to bring it up again because I keep using it to save money, and chances are you can too. And that's to cancel unused subscriptions. There are so many subscriptions out there these days that most of us don't even know all the ones that we're paying for. So look at your bank statements, your credit card statements, or use a tool like Rocket Money to review all of the subscriptions that you currently have and to cancel any that you aren't currently using or aren't using enough to justify continuing to pay for them. And this one really is so powerful because it's not a one-time saving, it's something that you can benefit from every month. I just did this the other day, and by canceling only a handful of subscriptions, I'm going to be able to save hundreds of dollars this year. Then something else related to subscriptions that you can do to save money is to rotate your subscriptions. What I found is there are really only a handful of subscriptions that I actually use year round. More often than not, I'll watch one show on, say, Netflix, another on HBO, then perhaps another on Amazon Prime. But in a given month, I'm not necessarily using all of them. And so rather than paying for all of the subscription services at once, I'll just pay for one at a time and canceling the current subscription before moving on to the next one. That way I don't have $100 going out a month paying for different streaming services. It really is crazy. It's more expensive than cable these days. Instead, I can rotate through them and just pay for the one or two at a time that I'm actually using. All right, then one category that I recently identified as a big drain on our monthly budget was eating out. And so something that we're doing to save money in this space is just eating out less. We can easily pay half the price or even less making meals for ourselves versus getting takeout or going out to eat. Also, if you hear a little squealing in the background, it's just Oliver playing. All good. I think with having a new baby, we'd kind of gotten into the habit of eating out more frequently, getting takeout. We never really used to get takeout before. I'd really started to notice it adding up. So since identifying that, we've really tried to go back to basics to create a meal plan for each week to stock the ingredients that we need. And something else that I've really found helpful is just having some backup ingredients on hand to make some easy meals that are very low effort for nights where I've had a long day and just don't have the energy to make anything super complicated. There's a lot you can do to make making food at home easier, and doing so can really have a huge impact on your monthly budget. Then another good one to keep in mind for when you are eating out is to skip the add-on. If you're at a restaurant, don't order a drink. You can just ask for tap water, and that way you're only paying for the food that you're consuming. Vice versa goes if you're at a coffee shop, a brewery, somewhere where drinks are kind of the main event. Go ahead and order your beverage, but then skip getting any food on the side. A lot of coffee shops will have muffins or baked goods. Skip those. Oftentimes those little extras, those side items, will add a significant percentage to your tab, honestly, if not doubling it. So by forgoing them, you can really save money when you do decide to eat it. And one piece of advice for grocery shopping is to not go grocery shopping on an empty stomach or when you're thirsty. This is one of those ones, like with subscriptions, that I've known in the back of my head for years, but really recently had to remind myself of. When you go grocery shopping on an empty stomach, you are so much more likely to make impulse purchasing decisions, to come home with way more food than you need, and also to pick less healthy options. So wait to go grocery shopping until after you've had a good meal, or at least have a granola bar before walking through those stores. The same thing goes for thirst too. Make sure that you're properly hydrated before walking into the store. That way you're not going to be tempted by the beverages section that you'll see at the front of most grocery stores. That's there for a reason. They're trying to leverage the fact that you're probably a little hungry, a little thirsty, to make it so that you can buy one of those fairly expensive and very marked up beverages. And we just have a couple left here. Something that you can do to save money on clothing is to host a clothing swap. I think it's a great goal to keep a wardrobe that feels fresh and fitting for your stage of life, your style, your size, but new clothing can be incredibly expensive, and honestly, even these days, buying things secondhand can be more expensive than you'd expect. I feel like certain thrift stores have really started hiking up their prices. So something that I love doing once or twice a year is planning a clothing swap with friends. It gives you the opportunity to clean out your closet while also coming home with a few fresh new pieces. It can be a great way to refresh, to update your wardrobe without spending a penny. All right, then last but not least is to shop your own closet. Go through your closet and pick out any clothing items that you haven't reached for in a while, and then have a bit of a brainstorming party to see if there are maybe new ways that you can style some of those older pieces to give them new life and to make it so that you're excited to wear them again. Maybe try pairing unlikely items together, have a bit of a monochrome moment, really play around with it, get creative. It can be really easy to just always reach for your go-to outfits and become essentially blind to everything else in your closet. So before going out and buying something new, I'd really recommend just try shopping your own closet first and see if there might be any items that you can rediscover and that will give you that new, fresh feeling that you might be looking for in your wardrobe, just using items that you already have. All right, well, those are 15 practical things that we like to do to save money, and I really hope that this was helpful for you, that it gave you some ideas, some inspiration. And I just want to say too, a lot of these things, when done individually, might not seem all that significant. But when you add several of these different ideas together, they really do add up, and cumulatively it can result in you saving hundreds of dollars a month, thousands of dollars a year. They really do have an impact. So I hope that this was helpful for you, but now I would love to hear from you. What are some of the things that you like to do to save money? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. I love when we can just hear from and learn from each other. So yeah, let me know. But as always, friends, I am wishing you all an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.